So this is the Bomero app. It is a secure vault for your file, and it does two things. One is that it encrypts the files, and second is that it signs the files. So using digital signature. So when it encrypts the file, it will either encrypt for you only, or it will also use a secret sharing scheme so that it will also break the key into multiple parts, and then you can give each part to one of your trusted friend or family member, so that together they can open your vault even when they do not have your private key. So it will have two functions. One is to encrypt a document. Second is to sign a document. All right. So the app, it will ask you to sign in with your Google account, and this feature will allow you to use the Google authentication to authenticate yourself. And once you log in, the app will also seek two permissions. One is to send email on your behalf from your Gmail account. And second is to store the files, the documents, the signatures on your Google Drive. And because it does that, so everything, all the data securely stays on your phone and in your Google account. So nothing will go out. So you will stay in control of your entire data. So first, you need to sign in with Google. So it will ask for your permission, whether you trust the app, right? So in order to use Google authentication, you also need to trust the app. If you do not want to use the app, then you just go back to safety. You can read more about the privacy policy on the website of the app. So now once, if you would like to use the app and you log in, then you click advanced, right? And then you can go to this screen to give the app permission. So you can either give the permission to read and send email from here. Also the permission to the Google Drive from here, or it will ask you in the next step. Suppose that we are not giving it here. So now we just click on continue. Okay, so now it will also ask you to give the permission for the rest of the permission that you did not give in the previous step. So there will be two things that is required. One is the access to Gmail, and second is the access to Google Drive. The access to Gmail is for the app to send email to yourself and to your friends on your behalf. So nothing will go to Bomero servers. It will just be between your phone, your Google Drive, and yourself, or you send it to your contacts. Okay, if you allow that, then now the app will log in. In case you already have a public and private key on your Google Drive, then the app will retrieve the data from there and use it here. So there will be your public key or your private key being stored on your Google Drive. If you go there and you delete that folder, then here the app will generate the new key pairs for you again. For the demonstration purpose, now I will go back to the login screen and I will go to delete the folder on my own Google Drive. And then I will go back here and then see how the app will offer to generate a new key pair. Okay, so I am on my own Google Drive. I will delete this folder. Okay, now I will go back to the app and try to log in. I will use this account. So in this case, the app is looking on my own Google Drive to see if it can find that folder which contains the key pair in there. It doesn't find that folder because I just deleted that. So now I can click here and it will create a new key pairs. And this key pair will also be stored on my own Google Drive. So because of that, then I need to give the app the permission to access my Google Drive. So it will only create file, upload and download file from that specific Bomero folder and nowhere else. So now if I go back to my own Google Drive, then there is the folder called Bomero there, and there is the key folder here. So the app already created the key pair and it uploaded to my own Google Drive. So far, the minimum permission that I required was that access to Google Drive. For that to upload the key files to here. Now if I go back to the app, so from here if I click proceed, it will try to see if there is any file on my Google Drive. So now under that Bomero folder there isn't any encrypted file. So there are two things. One is that I can encrypt a file, or second I can sign a file. And once I sign, then yeah, obviously there will be a verified signature, which I can verify that I can verify my own signature on the file, or if somebody also used the app and sent me the document, then I can also verify whether that document was signed by that person. So now let's say if I do an encryption. So I will click on encrypt file. Let's say I will encrypt this screenshot. Okay, so here the app will allow the user to specify how many people who may have access to this encrypted file. Let's say here if I say 4 and here I say 2, it will mean that the app will encrypt the file, and it will encrypt in such a way that I will be able to decrypt that with my key. And it also creates 4 parts of the key, and any 2 numbers out of these 4 together can open can decrypt the file. So now I can also say 3 here, so it means that 3 out of 4 people will need to use their key to decrypt my file. So this is just like a multi-signature. Okay, so if it's good to go, then I will click lock. It will lock the vault, a way of saying doing the encryption. So now the file is encrypted, and because I already asked for Google Drive permission, so it will upload to this folder, Bomero folder, encrypted file, under that subdirectory on my old Google Drive. So far it all stays on my phone and on my old Google Drive. Nothing is nothing goes to the Bomero service. Okay, now here the email part comes into play, because there will be the master key that was created, and the app uses this key to encrypt the file, so that I can either copy this key and paste that to my note, or I can click email myself. And in this case, if I click email myself here, then the app, using the permission that I asked before, it will email myself all these keys. Now, since I asked the app to create 4 keys, so if I enter the 4 emails of the 4 people I trust in here and send email, it will send from my old Gmail email to these people. So for that, then I needed the email permission. So before that, I already clicked the email myself part. So let's see what it sends in the email. So now I will switch to the Gmail app. So what happened is that I emailed myself, right? So in the app, I clicked the email myself part. So I am emailing myself. And the app could do that by calling the Gmail service with the permission that I already gave, the user already gave at the beginning. So it will give certain details like the name of the file, the ID of that file. So basically it is the hash of the file, the master key, and the number of keys, and the minimum number of keys to open. So this is based on the Shamil secret sharing scheme. So if I give this file in this link to people, either by giving this link or by downloading this file and give to people and give them the keys, later on either I can decrypt that using this master key, or these 4 people can work together. At least 3 of them need to work together and use the app to decrypt my file, as if I am authorizing them. I am authorizing that any 3 people out of 4 work together can decrypt my file. So now let me go back to the app. So first I copy this master key to see how it will decrypt in the app. Okay, so I click done. It will ask that I will not be able to access this master key and the other keys again. So am I sure that I want to proceed? I will click proceed. So now there will be an encrypted file here. I can either delete that, or I can decrypt that, or if I give a file to somebody and they want to decrypt that, then they can import the file so that they can decrypt on their app, on their phone, the files that I created on my phone. So for now, I want to decrypt this file. So I will click here after giving the key. Okay, so the unlocked file is already unlocked and saved to my Google Drive. Let me go there and see. So on my Google Drive now, there are a couple of folders. One is the key where the public private key are stored, and the encrypted files folder. It has the encryption of the file as the result of my operation on the app. And now because I just decrypted that file as well, so there is that decrypted file on my Google Drive. So because of that, then I needed as a bare minimum two permissions. One is the Google Drive permission so that I can upload the files in here and retrieve the keys. And second, I needed the email permission so that I could email myself or email other people so that the email will only go out from my account and will never hit a Bomero SMTP server to ensure security. So now if I go back to the app and show this signing. So if I click here, I could choose to sign a document. I can pick that from an URL, which the app will download to the local storage and sign. Or I can just select a file here. Let's say if I select this file. So the app will run and digitally sign this file using the private key, and it will also upload the signed file to Google Drive. So now I can have the option to announce to people that I already signed the file, the document. So if I enter the email here and click send email, it will send from my own email, which I got permission at the first step. Or I can again email myself that signature, the signed file and the signature. So I have sent email to myself successfully. So let's go to my old email to see how it looks like. So I have a signed document here that I just emailed to myself. So this is the file name, this is the file hash, and this is the document itself, so the file itself, and here is the signature. The signature will be a zip file with three components in there. One is the public key of the person who signed, and second is this document, and third is the signature file. Right, so these three things together is zipped into a file, and the link is given either to me, or if I choose to send to other people, then they will also receive the same thing, and that they can verify that okay, this public key has already signed, can verify the signature of this document and the signature is attached here. So if I give this URL to this zip file to other people, then they can verify whether the signature has been signed by me or not. So if I take this and I go back to the app, I can verify. So now let me go to signature verification. So I click on verify here. Either I can select a zip file or I can give the URL. So suppose that I give the URL to my colleagues, then they can verify that, hey, actually I signed that document. So now it downloaded this zip file, and if I click verify, then it will look into the content of the zip file, and it will get the public key, it will get the signature file, and it will get the document so that it can verify signature. So it says that the signature is valid. So these are the key feature of the vault, and the purpose is it allows us to encrypt a file securely, encrypt for us only, or encrypt for other people to open as well. And when it encrypts for other people, we can tell that how many key parts it breaks to, and as a minimum how many keys need to work together to open, to decrypt. Now for the second part is the digital signature. So we can sign a file and give the details to other people so that they can verify that the file has actually been signed by whoever who sends that. And verify signature function is here. So because of that, then the app needs permission to the Google Drive. The app needs permission to the email, so that everything is contained within the app and the Google services. Nothing will need to reach the Bomero server to ensure security, because Google security can be trusted. People will use Google to log in. People will use Google email to email back and forth. And people will use the Google Drive to store the sensitive files, which is private to themselves. So because of that, then the minimum permission we require, the app requires, is the Google Drive and the email. Those are the sensitive scope, besides the login using Google.